think it's fair to say, no matter who you are, I think music's a part of who you are and what you
do. You just can't live without it.
Yeah.
Well, it's the reason this world has no peace.
What do I think about music? It's unbeatable.
Parked out in the street, I left the motor on to take the empty seat. The rest are over phone will make it seem discreet. No one will know we're gonna take you for a treat. Away from all this, said that quietly. Don't suggest a thing to me, I know it might sound crazy. Girl, you're gonna thank me. Listen to the motor run, yeah, it'll be fine. I'm sure it's not the first time, it could be the last. It's not very far.
Music has always been a big part of this world. Hi, I'm Matt McGill, and in this short film I plan on showing you some quick cool stuff, like how much music has changed in the past 100 or so years, and why it is so necessary in today's society. But first of all, I plan on looking at why and how it has changed. And to help me, I've got an old friend.
William Moran was an old buddy I used to hang out with in my high school days. I come to him to see what he thought of this.
Where do you think music is going?
Well, it's kind of hard to say when there's something upon us at this moment in time.
William Moran works for himself as a self-employed album reviewer and music composer.
A? That's an A. Alright?
With over 287,000 fans on networking sites such as Facebook and Twitter, as well as MySpace, his music and work has become a huge internet sensation. I was interested to see what it was that had musical genres in such a spin.
Well, Matthew, today's industry is always expanding. There's no knowledge what's going to happen next. There could be new crazy genre next week that's just going to take the world by storm. Who knows?
Still interested, I wanted to know what another old friend thought.
Well, you know, some people say that things change all because of the Beatles. That was just the waiter adding wine to a near-empty glass. Music then started doing what it desired. But most of today's genres were only in their early stages in the 80s. Sort of improved from there in a sense, except songs with screaming lyrics. They'll never improve.
They seem to get a lot of fans even though they're hardcore, right?
Yeah, well, the next time I fall off a ladder and start screaming out in vain, I'll keep that in mind. I could attract a sad bunch of people to their entertainment, not to my aid.
Confused but still interested, I decided to go back in time and see where all the fuss began. To help me, Aid Perry, a music teacher and a member of the music industry herself. She told me she'd give me a few tips and advice on what's going on.
Alright, well, first off, you had your Bach and your classical music with Mozart, your harpsichord, all those sorts of things. And now we're 2 centuries on, and you've got so many genres, or more genres than hairs on a Wookiee.
So what are all these genres that everyone's talking about? Rock, pop, electro, it just goes on and on.
So if there's a genre for all in the industry, and there's a crowd that follows them, you'd be thinking, wow, these guys would be living like rock stars, right? Wrong. Musicians and songwriters these days are not earning the wage they truly deserve. This is mainly due to illegal internet downloading and pirating, which is having such a huge negative impact on the film and music industry of today. Sadly, this has led to such an impact that some musicians and songwriters have been forced out of their own industry. So if they haven't been ripped off enough from their record company for the sale of a CD, they're being ripped off completely by an illegal download. Some have survived this, others not.
Will was prepared to tell me the approach he thinks should be taken for this matter. So what approach do you reckon should be taken for those who downloaded music illegally via the internet?
Execution.
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 Isn't that a bit over the top?
Look, alright? Bands are breaking up, losing so much money all the time because of illegal downloading. I just think that execution, alright?
I think that's a bit irrational.
It's the only way. Execution. Execution.
My unsuccessful and uncomfortable discussion with William led me to ask someone else who was really affected by it and see what they had to say.
So we just got into the music industry and we did about all the illegal downloading and stuff. So we come prepared.
How do you guys get by into those conditions?
There's a lot of touring, and after that we try and do even more touring. And then we try and jump on festivals and complete that. And we meet lots of great people and we try and get shows with them.
But is that enough to get you by?
Sometimes we have to go to extremes to get money to get through that week.
Why?
It changes every week. Like 1 week you could be busking under the supermarket.
And then the next week you might be walking family's dog to earn a bit of pocket money.
Is that really what it comes down to?
Well, yeah, there's others out there that have different approaches too.
Although it didn't come to much of a surprise to me that musicians had to go to such lengths just to survive, I was still very, very shocked. I was interested to find out what happened to once a rock star, now teacher. Okay. Well, for you, you went from rock star to teacher. What?
Well, there's an old saying that was good until it was adjusted, and it went, those who try hard teach, and the rest do.
That sounds very altered.
Unfortunately, Stephen was not prepared to talk about his previous careers on camera, so I decided to move on from him.
Well, it has become a big problem now. It's ended up that a lot of groups have either had to split or do endless touring.
That must be so tiring, right?
Well, it's about its only disadvantage.
So if that's about its only disadvantage, it must still be pretty cool to be a rock star.
Oh yeah, I don't think it's ever really going to suck being a rock star.
But I was still confused about what the music industry was coming to, and due to my unreliable sources, I felt like I was going crazy, much like the barking man.
They came bounding over.
There was one last thing that I just hadn't covered. That one thing that keeps every artist...
How'd you get the fan out in the paddock?
That one thing that keeps every artist in the business and not giving up. And it was the music. Like a beat keeps a song together, music keeps everything together, and will always be needed in this whole world. And it was really easy to see why.
Music's pretty cool because it's creating an outlet for everyone. It's a good way of expression, but also you just meet lots of cool people and play with lots of cool people.
It's the best industry, no matter what part you play in it.
Yeah, even if it's something really hard, it's really good and I just wouldn't trade it for anything.
Hang on. You know, it's always said, live like a rock star. They use that expression for a reason. It's not like anyone ever says, live like a telemarketer.
Well, it's the reason this world has no peace.
Awesome. So here I am, and it's pretty clear to me now that music is the best industry that there ever could be. Even if it does have its lows, they're always backed up straight away by its highs. It's like music, the industry, always needed in society.